Hey guys, I'm in the car on my way to film a hand-pulled noodle video which I planned months ago. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be hitting up 2 places this week known for the hand-pulled noodle scene and 2 places next week. So I'll do a part 1, part 2, so look out for part 2. I'll link it in the description box. So I found over the years that unless you're doing like a neighborhood food tour, like the North End video, which I'll also link down below, especially if you live like in the greater Boston area, which has remarkable diversity of languages, people, cultures, foods, you have to hop around quite a bit to get like the hidden gem neighborhood eat. So that's what we're doing today. First up, we're gonna hit up Quincy in the greater Boston area for the restaurant called Chili Square. And second, we're gonna go to MDM Noodles in Brighton. I have no idea what MDM stands for other than it reminds me of MGM Studios, which is definitely not the same thing. All that's required for hand-pulled noodles is that these restaurants are known for noodles. They're fresh, they're made by a real person. I found a lot of these restaurants cross-referenced on Eater and other sources, so I'm really excited to go try them out. Let's go. So we're at Chili Square, which is my favorite casual place that I discovered a year ago. Every time I go to Quincy, I have like excited cold sweats because I know I'm gonna be eating because I only come here to eat. The last time we came, I was going shopping so I could eat what I bought. This time I'm sitting down in a restaurant. It's not like a neighborhood or a square that you like go to hang out with your friends or like meet up with people. It's in the middle of literally kind of nowhere, which is so great because this is a gem. I have friends that know about this place and they live in the neighborhood and they didn't tell me that they just came here with their friends. Last time I was here, I was craving cold noodles, which may not feel like a really great craving to have, but when it's really good, it's really good. I had it in a takeout box and it tasted amazing still. A takeout box plastic with cold noodles was my favorite cold noodle dish I've ever had in the Boston area. I'm not even talking about the fact that this might be the best in Boston. It might even just be the best in the Northeast. It could be the best in America. I just haven't lived in the West, so I can't say that. I come from the Midwest. I definitely know that there's nothing like this over there. So I'm really excited to have that. I'm not going in with any hesitance. I didn't spend 15 minutes looking at the menu, which is on the wall. I know exactly what I wanted. There are people on the Googles that say that this is hands down, blew their mind, Cumin Biang Biang Noodles. The Cumin Biang Biang Noodles was out of this world. How have I never heard this place before? Question mark, exclamation, question mark. There's so many things that testify that this is a hidden gem that is yet to be discovered. You're welcome. I'm definitely getting the Cumin Biang Biang Mian. I'm getting the liang pi, which is the cold noodles. The sour fish is really good. It's like Sichuan peppercorn consistency. And I couldn't help it. I was gonna get 3, but like this is the place where if you thought you were gonna get 3, you should get 4 instead. So the 4th one I'm getting is sliced pig ears. I know, it's not the same as your typical appetizer, but I swear I'm gonna like it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start with these. These are so good looking. So this is the liang pi, the cold noodles. And this is made from like starch, like bean starch. And then this is like the pig ears. I think the biggest thing about this is gonna be the texture. It's pretty much all about the crunchy cartilage. Yeah, I think this flavor is like in this too because this is my favorite flavor. I would probably eat this whole dish by itself. So the texture is on point. It's a lot chewier in like a good way. You know, like ear, right? But it's a lot chewier and softer in a really nice textured way. And some of them are a little bit skinnier and then some of them are a little bit thicker. The reason why these are so flavorful isn't just the chili oil, but there's like a 5-spice layer of aromatic like cloves and cinnamon working together with the chili oil to really saturate the whole pig ear. So I think that's a big part of this dish being more complex and more palatable for the general public. I mean, the public that can eat spicy food. I'm gonna try this one. This is what you want. There's a restaurant that I tried these noodles at, and these noodles were like stuck together in a ball. You could not separate them. That is not what you want. You want very long, very thin, very bouncy noodles, and this is the perfect texture. It's that vinegar. This vinegar isn't too overpowering. I don't know how to do this. Like, I don't know what the formula is. There's like vegetables here. There's like cucumbers here to really offset the texture of like the bouncy noodles. It's just like this smooth, well-rounded, balanced experience. People said they would come back just to eat this, and I would come back just to eat this. I would drive an hour just to order this and eat it. There's a bug that wants to eat this with me. I just can't believe how good these are. I just can't believe how good these are. Yeah, this particular kind of noodle is like my favorite cold noodle. I don't think you can find a better cold noodle dish in this area. When I mean this area, I mean Boston. I'm getting distracted by the smell of the cumin lamb noodles right now. I feel like I'm cheating on this dish. All right, I feel the need to announce this dish. So here I am with the cumin lamb Biang Biang Mian, which is Biang Biang Noodles. This is the reason why I'm here. If you eat noodles that are handmade versus frozen noodles or even dried noodles, see how long it can be and how different width it is depending on where you are with it. That's the hand-pulled look. There's cabbage in here. There's green peppers. I'm really excited to try this. This is amazing, and I'm so happy. I didn't even eat the lamb the first bite because I was so obsessed with the noodles. But you can taste the lamb on the noodles without eating the lamb, which is really impressive. Part of that is because it's a cumin flavor that's saturating both the lamb and just like everything around it, which if you don't like cumin, I have a friend who came here and ate it anyway. I'm pretty sure she was converted. This is the place that you're gonna find your love for cumin if you've never found it before. And the lamb looks so tender, but has a very deep lamb flavor. So you have to be at least open-minded to eat this lamb because everything about this is very authentic tasting. Okay, I did it. Look at this right here, right here. It's going up. I feel like an iron chef. Oh shoot. Okay. Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna just keep eating this over and over again. This was so fun too. I mean, like, why wouldn't you want to be here and do this? Look at all this. Look at this. Look at all of this. Okay. I have to stand up in order for it to be more. So that's this. This is the best. This is like, it's like a chalice. The one thing about this place that I will feel comfortable saying while I'm inside is that it's a laughable contrast between the utensils you're given and the things you're eating. Do you see the difference in like this circle and this circle? Yes, with my little spoon. Just grazing the surface here. So lots of aromatics just like floating on the surface here. Large, massive pieces of roots like ginger. This is the sour cabbage. This dish is characterized by this, the sour cabbage. Here's the fish. It's the white fish, the really tender kind that you can't pick up with a plastic spoon. Oh yeah. If you watched my last video, which I will put in the link down below, I tried a sour cabbage dish with the bone marrow soup. And this is so much thicker and more flavorful than that dish, which I'm so impressed by. I mean, it's not thick in terms of how it looks, but with flavor, it's a lot thicker. I can see how this place is known for this. Everything here just tastes really authentic. These crazy 4 dishes that don't look like they have much in common, they're characterized by the commonality of authentic flavor. And this fish is really tender, really tender. Like you don't have to chew it. You can just kind of swallow it if you want. So yeah, overall, amazing 4 dishes. Everyone is so unique. Everyone is so fresh. The ones that are supposed to be cold are cold. The ones that are supposed to be hot are hot. And they're all so unique in their own way. Like they're characterized with their own flavor profile, all the herbs, all the spices, all the layers of flavor that are accumulated from the way that they've been prepared. Super evident just from the first bite. You can't have a bad bite. You can't just accidentally eat something that doesn't represent the dish because every part of the dish is saturated with like flavor and oil and spice and herbs. If there's meat, the meat saturates it. If there's fish, that saturates the flavor. Every part of the dish has its own role in contributing to the overall experience of the dish. And I would call this place an experience. Even though I couldn't use bigger spoons, honing in on this dish the Cumin Biang Biang Noodles. One of the most unique aspects of this dish for me is the secret agent, the acidic tomato, the tartness of the tomato. Tomato elevates the flavor and makes it a lot fresher, a little bit more well-balanced. You know what I just realized? The presence of this tomato reminds me of Italian pappardelle pasta. I grew up with Italian and Chinese food, and this would be a perfect gateway dish for handmade pappardelle pasta lovers to see what a Chinese equivalent of this dish would look like. Overall, absolutely everything was worth it. Like the food itself is 150% more worth it than any other place I've tried. Like there's reliable consistency with goodness. If you want a good dish or a good experience with one plate of food, it's really hard to go bad here, which is saying so much. I can't say that I've felt this way about any other place I've tried so far, which is amazing. Outside MGM Noodles. There's a motorcycle. This is our second stop in our hand-pulled noodle experience tour journey thing. We're about to go and try some more dishes and see how we enjoy it. We're gonna check it out now. So we're inside MDM Noodles, and this is like, again, somewhere you drive by. And every time it's a place you need to really focus on to find, I'm interested. I really like this atmosphere so far. I think it's a lot more spacious. It's probably about 4 times bigger than Chili Square. It's a different environment. I definitely prefer this environment, but we'll see about the food. We're focusing on hand-pulled noodles and also allowing ourselves to try other things that we want to eat. The first thing is the cumin lamb hand-pulled noodles. That's what it's known for. That's what Google said. So we're definitely getting that. And then the guy said that there's a really regional lamb soup that's like really famous. So we're gonna get that. The third thing will be the cold noodles that some people affectionately call cold skin noodles, because that's the literal translation is skin. I just finished talking and it's here already. So really good service. Let's start with the cold dish first. This is it. I'm already really enjoying the presence of cucumbers. The last place I kind of missed them. I'm checking out the consistency, and the consistency checks out. It is really, really slippery, and that's what you want. Ooh, I can smell some muddiness. I think they added nuts. Maybe I'll be very pleasantly surprised. Let's get it with the cucumber. I hate to say it. I think I like that one better. This one better, I mean. The nut adds so much, guys. All these places have mild flavor profiles when it comes to like that sour note, which is really great because when you have a sour note and when you have a little bit of spice and oil, and then you have a buttery nut note, that ties it all together with a nice bow that's bright red and says, come and eat it. I so don't regret ordering this. This is a cucumber pull. So far, the ingredients are amazingly fresh. Cucumber is flourishing. You can taste all the different components of this dish. I'm a super fan of how thin some of these noodles are. You shouldn't use them as curtains. So see-through. It's great. It's good for eating. This is one of the best ones I've ever had. Definitely in the West or in States. I'm really impressed. The portion size is like pretty perfect for a normal person. I'm not a normal person, I could eat more, but it's perfect for you, most people. But overall, super impressive. I think I like this better than Chili Square's version, which is like saying something. I'm so impressed. I just keep getting more impressed. All right, so I'm gonna go for the cumin lamb noodles next. Investigating this dish, excavating. There's a lot of lamb, guys. Look at the lamb. That's good. I like the portion size already. I'm already feeling that these stick to each other quite a bit more. Do you see this? Okay, so there's that. But let's try it. This is hard, actually. Let me demonstrate this. Can you see this demonstration? Oh. It requires some tearing apart in order to really get it, which I'm willing to do. All right, here we go. I'm a fan of this flavor. It's good flavor. The cumin is really on point. Not the kind where it's like they dumped a bunch of cumin and you just taste the cumin only. It comes together very well. The meat is pretty decently tender. And it's also even less roomy than the other place, which I think is good if you're not going for that really intense lamb flavor. So it's like very well-rounded. I don't remember the other dish having cilantro, but I really like what the cilantro does to it. It's kind of the same thing that the tomato did for the other dish, but it's adding a fresh herbaceous note, which I like. I think the only thing that kind of knocks it is that initial texture. And that just could be how long it was sitting around. So that's fine, because now I've got the texture to the point where I can do another noodle pull. I'm legit getting the food sweats. So overall, like a little thicker texture for the lamb, as well as the noodles than the other place. But the flavor is really great. I think it's not too salty, not too spicy, not too lammy. Again, very well-rounded, like a full-body wine, if that makes any sense to you. Overall, very successful. I like it. Oh, wow. So there's two kinds of noodles in it. It's got the vermicelli, and it's like that kind of that milky broth. I'm excited to taste this broth. This almost reminds me of the Korean bone broth. Yeah, they got lily. That's a flower. It looks like there might be a quail egg, which is like props. I'm gonna try some of this soup first. Ooh, that soup tastes really good. This tastes like goat milk. It's not like serious milk, but it's so creamy that you think that they added milk to it. Do they? And it's so mild, which is great because you can always make it spicier, you can always make it saltier. Definitely try it with a little bit of everything else. I'm really impressed by the different ways that they're cooking the lamb here. This is a cube, which almost reminds me of the way that Taiwanese beef noodle soup is. Also, I have to say, if you have a really good soup, it's a lot more longevitous to have hand-pulled noodles in that form. They become bouncier. They don't start getting globular, which is incredible for the texture. But this is like probably one of the best broths I've had. Sometimes I eat porridge and then I drink all the broth of the porridge, and then it's just a bunch of rice. So the next day, whoever's around me has to eat the rice. When I like the soup that much, that's what happens. I drink all the broth and leave everything else in it, and it just becomes a lump of carbs, and nobody likes me after that. Yeah, I would order this just to drink the broth. Like, okay, I love lamb and I love hand-pulled noodles, but this broth is the star right now. I think this dish is better than the cumin lamb for me. It's a lot lighter, but it's not sacrificing any flavor at all. There's so many things that I like in it. The chrysanthemum, the lily. When I like things too much, I start saying inaccurate things. It's got the lily, it's got the Whittier. Ooh, these are things that my parents tell me to eat to better my feminine health, the little orange things. So overall, again, there's not a bad dish here. Great environment, great service, really fast. Lamb soup, this one. This is the one that I'm most happy that I came here to eat. If you want hand-made noodles here, get this one. Unless you just don't want soup noodles. Otherwise, there's no reason not to get this one. This one's way better in terms of flavor. Compared to the other restaurant, I say it's like a different game because the dried noodles with the oil and that dry flavor profile and this soupy flavor, like two different things. You can't compare them. So chili square, really good for that dry cumin, hand-pulled spicy flavor. That's really good for the nutritious broth. All different flavors into like a deep, satisfying, nourishing kind of experience. I think this comes in second, this cold noodle dish. If it weren't for how unique the soup dish is, this would be my favorite because this has all of the flavors that I like about this dish. This is really good, and I really am so happy I ordered it. But I think the lamb soup hand-pulled noodles is my favorite. So good. I'm so happy. Okay. So the two restaurants that we went to today are only half of the 4 restaurants that I have planned to go to. We're gonna do a ton more hand-pulled noodle dishes in part 2. But for this time, of the 2 places, MDM Noodles is like really good at noodles because the noodles is in the name. If you want noodles and a variety of noodles, they've got beef scallion noodles, tomato egg noodles, the lamb soup noodles, the spicy cumin lamb noodles.
So you've got a variety of hand-pulled options if you want noodles here. I would be shocked if they had other things that were better than their hand-pulled noodles. Hand-pulled noodle flavors were over the roof, out of the roof, out of the world, off the charts, okay? Chili Square has lots more variety beyond noodles, including beef noodle soup lenjo, which actually a lot of my friends really enjoy. They do Korean fried chicken. They do a lot of things that involve spice and oil. And also, there's a little bit more of a spin on the flavor profile of the spicy cumin lamb noodles. And so if you want a spin, you want something unique, definitely go to Chili Square. You can't go wrong with any of them. I would just suggest going to both. I think that's it. I will resume with part 2 next time, and I'll see you then. Thanks and bye.